Ouch.
All right.
My
Let's
shoulder popped.
get that microphone over here.
Yeah, where is? Oh, there it is.
It says we are live.
We're live. It don't get any better than this. Well, I guess
Let's
it
get
could
to the
get.
comments.
It could get better than this. Get some comments. See who's in here.
Hey, there's Drew and Green.
Okay. Oh,
Buckshot Kid. Hello, Rip and Vaughn.
BSK.
We got one viewer on right now. Hair's looking good.
All the top start. Well, it's looking above average. It's not really looking good. But what the hell?
I left my sheet downstairs.
No, we don't. You don't
all
have
the stuff I had. Well, I wanted to thank some new members and things like that.
You was going to thank everybody, and now you're not. Now you're just saying.
Oh, I still am.
Thank you, everybody.
Man, that was looks like we're freezing on here. I can't even tell. Anybody on here? How we looking? How do we sound? Looks like Rip's freezing right now.
I'm freezing?
Yeah, the camera freezes. Look how tall I look. Look how much I sit up here, Rip. Get up here, man.
I'm
get over here a little bit scoot over here a little bit. There you go. Talk in that microphone.
Talking to that microphone.
You know, when I watch your old promos, I just download a whole bunch of old promos, man. And you're so loud into the microphone, talking loud.
No, what?
Well, now you.
Well, what happened?
So good, man.
What happened?
Get that back, Rip.
What happened was you elevated yours to a new game. You're the star, and now you talk real. And now you.
No, I want people to hear me. I don't.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with being a star. I just want people to be able to hear me, and that's all.
Okay, I was just checking. Oh, I hear that. There's a head bob.
Greatest show of all time
in many months.
Concrete. We killed our whole viewers in 1 week.
We'll destroy them all.
We were in the 30s. Now we're down to 6.
Well, you know. Well,
just took us 1 week.
We was frozen.
It worked. It's working. Looks good.
Uh-oh.
Found the right link and stream. Medium Clay 5 in the house.
He's okay.
Been missing
Found
in action.
The right link and stream.
Nick Williamson.
Awesome. First time watching live. Hey, we can both read.
Yeah, we can.
Looks medium like 5. Freezing. Yeah. What the fuck is this 10 a.m. shit?
Well, yeah, I agree, man. When Rip is just so over, he's got every weekend he's booked somewhere, man.
Oh, excuse me.
No, I'm with you. I'm glad for you.
Okay, man. Excuse me for having to go down and teach the youngsters how to do something.
I'm explaining to Medium 5 why we're on at 10 a.m. because Rip is over. He's a legend. He's a wrestling legend. He's booked in Orlando this weekend. He was booked in the Carolinas. He was booked where
was it? Getting the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame last week.
Yeah, last week.
When you host a show with a legend, man, it's
at the
tough.
hotel 3 days. Didn't open your wallet. Had 6 buffets. Oh man, I think Romer set a record for eating.
Right there, baby. Right there.
Okay, right there.
In the mic.
In the mic, baby.
I can hear you. Let's see. Clayton here in green. It's working. Thank you, Drew. Where I said that new member. 10 a.m. Yeah. Ben McClain, Cuban Assassin on Briscoe and Bradshaw. Awesome interview. You said Cuban Assassin, man. He's one of your buddies, isn't he?
Well, it depends which Cuban assassin there is.
Okay, ask him. Hey, Ben, which Cuban assassin is it?
Was it David Sierra? Was it Angel Ancevita?
Which one do you know?
Was it Jack Kruger? I know all 3 of them.
Okay, good enough to get on our show. I mean, they got him on their show.
Who's that?
Briscoe and Bradshaw. He was just on Briscoe and Bradshaw show.
Well,
Cuban assassin, baby.
Well, he usually homesteaded in Tampa, but then he was the legend. He was a legend down in Portland, Oregon too.
Okay,
I just seen him a couple weeks
ago.
So
why not ask him to be on our show? That's what I'm getting at here. Everybody's doing it, Rip. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah. When I call them, they kayfabe me.
Oh no, you got to when you see him. I mean, surely the Cuban assassin would have came on. I would have think.
Well, I got the Bobby Fulton put the ixnays on me. Him and Dylan did. Yeah, they wanted me at the table doing this and that, and I was wanting to go out. I was wanting to go out and do interviews, get stuff lined up.
Yeah,
he said, "No, we're do this, do that." So they almost treated me like I was working, like I was labor.
That's what happens sometimes when people pay you to do something.
I guess so.
Ben McClain said yes. The one from Portland.
Yeah, that's David. That's Bill Alfonso's brother, Fonzie's brother.
Okay.
Fonzie's one of the greatest referees. You could start giving Fonzie a finish, and he'd finish it for you.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Let's get him on the show, man.
He looks like he's dead, but then again, I look like I'm dead. So what the hell?
There you go.
I guess I was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. All kinds of people we could get on here. Awesome. Could have
Hopefully they'd all be alive.
Could have a really good channel here if we get some more guests every once in a while. Let's see here. I got to welcome the new members. Like, look at this little feature I got here.
Welcome new members.
Oh, I spelled welcome wrong. Shit. Oh, well. Welcome new members. John Tucker, baby. Just came in this week, I think. Brian Colsty, Whitewater 1281, Tom Mavericks, and Clayton 5584. All new members to the channel.
Oh, John Tucker, he's a fucker. We're past 60 seconds. So I can say that.
Yeah, you don't cuss. You don't cuss nearly enough anymore.
I don't cuss nearly enough?
No.
Well, some guy said I was just, all I would do was cuss. It takes no talent to cuss. The hell it don't.
Happy medium, Rip. Happy medium.
Okay.
All right. Welcome, new.
Medium 5.
While we're at it, let's go ahead. We're up to 18 members now.
We're starting to be on fire. 18
members. So I wanted to give a shout out to these members. I'm going to get you a new video. I've really been meaning to do it the last couple of days. I just have not got around to it. I'm going to get a new video up for members only, though. Opinion Haver, which is it? Haver or Haver?
No, we just switch back and forth.
I think he's the longest tenured. Him and Michael Costello. You know, I should probably quit. I should probably quit acknowledging people. Acknowledge me, Roman Reigns, because then they'll say, "Holy shit, I'm still a member to that thing. I need to cancel that membership." Oh. But that was a joke, Rip. It was a joke.
No, I was thinking about Lanny Poffo years ago. His mother would call him Lilo, so I'd call him Lilo, and he'd say, "No, it's Lilo." And then he was just ribbing me, no matter which one I said. Then I would call him Lilo. He said, "No, it's Lilo." For years, and I didn't figure it out that he was ribbing me.
You don't really understand ribs too well.
No,
I try to do it all the time, and you just always think I'm dead serious. Everything I say.
Yeah, well,
it's weird.
You was raised by the king.
Seems like after basically all my life, but at least the last year and a half, you would start catching on every once in a while. Pinion Haber.
Where is
Thanks,
he?
man.
Here?
I'm trying to acknowledge these people, Rip.
Oh,
Michael Costello. These are members of the channel. You should be saying thank you to these people.
Well, I'm trying to adjust my
Hey, what's happened to Michael Costello? I haven't seen him for a long time. Greg Smith, always a big fan. Frank Pickle Barrel asked how to put PBA on there.
Oh, I like that PBA.
I feel like Frank hasn't been. Was he on last week? Was Frank here?
I don't know.
Medium 5 just got out of bed. Poffo Maniac, Sean McAllister, the Starcade Boy, the Heat Seeker, Shockwaves. He's pretty new. Shockwaves Media, I should say.
Okay.
Pretty new. Dave's channel's fairly new. Heavy D, I think he's the one from Prince Edward Island, isn't he?
I think so.
Fairly new. Jamie, and then I think I got these out of order.
Well, you got.
But Jeff G.
Big Jeff.
Been around for a while. Shout out.
Hey, you forgot
to all the members.
You forgot. Oh yeah, Manny the Weasel. He's not
too
a member.
tight to be a member.
He's not a member, so we're not going to mention him.
He
ever
is
again
a
on
tight
here.
ass.
Remember,
man.
don't ever mention Manny the Weasel Valverde
in the microphone
again.
Thank you for all the support.
Ever.
Really, really appreciate it. While we're at it, while we're plugging people, might as well plug our own shit. Don't know where your book is, but I got the t-shirt on, Rip. I don't know why you don't wear the t-shirt anymore. You ever wear our t-shirt anymore?
I forgot to bring it.
Oh, damn it. Got the t-shirt on.
But I got the Seymour Boys Club t-shirt on, so that's...
And got the book here. The wrestling, the pro wrestling, lessons of wrestling, whatever it is. This is Tony Khan's copy.
Yeah, that's Tony.
Tony's going to get this, I think, right before the big show at Wembley.
Tony needs it.
Got the t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com. And it should be good. Good to go on that. Got a new logo that came in.
Have we done an AEW yell yet?
What's that mean? Like a chant?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. AEW, AEW, AEW.
I was going to see if you're going to lead the fourth one.
All right. Speaking of AEW, so there's a lot of news in the AEW camp.
There is? Okay.
Well, they got the big show at Wembley Stadium coming up next Sunday, I think it is.
But they still haven't announced the card, have they?
Well, they're starting to add matches, so people are like disappointed in the matches. Now, there are some people that are injured.
Well, I guess they were going to be disappointed anyway. Look at the roster.
But I guess some of the wrestlers are like not happy with some of the choices that are being made. They're just saying the card is not playing out the way that.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Is the Booker of the Year? Is he the boss?
He is the boss.
Okay, so the employee should do as the boss says.
I think they will.
Well, then why do you want to bitch? Hell, they're stealing money the way it is. Jesus Christ, you're going to wrestle
That's all they've done in AEW since it started. People have been, that's all they do.
What are they going to draw? Maybe 75,000?
It's pretty good.
No shit. I'm going to say this would be the highlight of their wrestling life, just being there. Sit back. Hey, boys, sit back and enjoy the moment. Have a good time. Laugh. This is going to be the biggest show you're ever going to be on your life. Not probably for everybody. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, so they're complaining about the card. Then, now they got the Saturday show. So apparently, there were some people that tried to get backstage. It's called Collision. It's basically CM Punk's channel or show, whatever,
Okay.
Saturday night. So apparently Matt Hardy, who's the cowboy? Adam Page, and our friend of our show, Ryan Nemeth, all tried to, they work for the company, all tried to go to the show, and they weren't allowed. And Christopher Daniels, who's an agent, was sent home. So 4 people allegedly were sent home and said they were not allowed backstage at their own company's show. I think that is hilarious, man.
Things sure happen when Tony's around. What the hell, right?
When Tony's around. It ain't Tony, man. I can't believe you still give Tony. It's CM Punk sending him home.
Oh,
CM Punk sends all of it's CM Punk.
Well, I guess
he runs Saturday night. It's not Tony Khan.
Well, I guess he's got Tony's blessing. I guess if Punker's the boss, then do what Punker says. Then what the fuck, right?
God, I hope one day you just don't
what?
Continue to think Tony Khan is running this show. As far as he does not lay down. If Tony Khan took charge of anything, they wouldn't have all this drama. There wouldn't be the drama if Tony Khan was really in charge.
Yeah, but Tony's a nice guy.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't get into any of this shit.
Hey,
CM Punk sends him home.
What?
Tony Khan doesn't.
Just think, you got Tony Khan. Then if you had Bill Watts or Ole Anderson, wow, that would be quite the contrast.
So anyway, they all got sent home. I said they were not allowed backstage at Collision.
Okay.
Then they had the big show Wednesday Night Dynamite, pretty close to the pay-per-view. There's no storylines going forward from what everybody said. They had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre match where I just saw clips of it where everybody's bleeding. Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, blood all over the place. Then they send out with a chainsaw Leatherface, who's a character in a movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like pretending to chop everybody up with it.
Well, there's the wrestler Leatherface for years.
Well, okay. Well,
no.
All right. No. But I'm just saying, so it was the laughing stock in the internet. I'm sure you're going to put it over and say how awesome it was, but
no, I'm not
that's their big thing. Just a big bloodbath with a chainsaw.
No,
leading into a 75,000 ticket sales pay-per-view. That's their go home pretty much. Fucking hilarious. But let's see what kind of questions we have here. There was one more AEW thing I thought, but I can't even think of it now. Pufflemaniac, Rip, did you record any bouts versus Randy Savage in ICW? I know you had 5 bouts. One was in Owensboro at the Sportscaster. Why so few bouts? That would have been Titanic.
Well,
you were both heels.
We were both heels.
Yeah.
Now Randy worked babyface. He worked against Radamias, and Randy worked babyface. And Randy was so good as a babyface that all the buddies from the gym stormed the ring trying to get in there. It was a cage match, and the cops had to pull them out and everything. Because Randy was just selling so good.
So do you know that if you have any on tape? I have not seen it. I've been going through the tapes that the Rip has. So far, I've not seen any matches of Rip and Randy.
I don't think. I know we had some, but I probably. You got the tapes that was left. So I think they're all gone, destroyed in the.
I've not been through them all yet.
Oh, okay. Then we might find some.
So possibly, there's still more tapes to be. I mean, I just found the one of you and Andre the Giant. I had no idea you had a tape of you and Andre the Giant. If you haven't checked it out, there's a couple little shorts that I put out there with Rip versus Andre, baby. Looks like Al Robinson just super chat is $1.99. Thanks, Big Al.
Okay.
Big Al says, gentlemen. See if I can catch up here. We got Mud Show Mark. Maybe he's a new person. Welcome to the channel.
You ever punch the fuck out of friends and family just for fun?
Yeah,
but I just hit him in the arm, like the shoulder.
Just people named Mud Show.
Yeah, Mud Show. Yeah.
Get me on there, Rip. We will curse up a storm. Medium 5.
Shit, he'll have to. Medium 5's like a legend. As we was going through Chucky, Tennessee, right? And we saw all kind of billboards. It was the Hammer.
Yeah.
The guy for the attorney.
Daryl Isaacs.
Yeah, Daryl Isaacs. And then stuff about Stephen P. New. And then stuff about Medium 5. Medium 5 he had some kind of sexual perversions or whatever. I guess he's sort of like legendary for just being like the hillbilly lover.
Porn star.
Yeah, he's porn star.
Yes. He could be with you on your OnlyFans, the grandpa, the masked grandpa.
Yeah, the masked grandpa. That'd be all right.
Ben McClain, all the great wrestlers know Rip. Can you just ask them to be on with you on the show, Rip? Yeah. Let's see. What else we got in here?
The Hammer's on.
Mud Show Mark, I'd sooner drink a pint of piss than be a member of any wrestling clubs. We'll get the fuck out of here then. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that means. But if it's a shot at us,
I don't think he meant it that way.
Okay, well.
Oh, it said, Rip, did you ever?
I was trying to get memberships a little bit ago.
Okay.
About that time. So
okay.
Fuck you, media. All right. Charles Albert in the house.
All the top stars.
Drew is in green, so we can get it. Let's see, get a question from him, man. He just became a member.
Okay.
Good morning, fellas. I am reading The Hard Way by Don Fargo and Scott Teal. Fargo seemed to be quite the character and kept locker rooms interesting. Rip, did you ever cross paths with Don Fargo?
Oh, yeah. Fargo was all different names. He was one of the chain gang. And he was a guy, when a guy went into the ring and he had earrings in, Fargo just ripped it out of his ear. And it was just blood everywhere, because that's one of the unwritten rules. Of course, today it doesn't matter. You just come in there and you got a big old chain on and nobody rips it. You might as well be wrestling in hoop earrings, nose ring, mouth rings, and shit like that. But nobody touches it. So that's how fucked up today's fucking wrestling is.
What else on Don Fargo? Anything?
Oh, he was the chain gang. I tell you, he was one of the original chain gangs that worked for Dick the Bruiser, and the real Hell's Angels came in and shot his partner. And Fargo got the hell away and he took off, but the real Hell's Angels got his fucking partner and shot him up and everything.
Is he related to Jackie Fargo, Danny Fargo, any of the other Fargos?
Yeah, he worked as one of Fargo's brothers, him and Roughhouse, Nuthouse Fargo. But Fargo, he had a bunch of different names, but he was some guy that was jacked, was always training, always drinking beer, doing his thing. He was a real legend in pro wrestling. Donnie Fargo.
Was he related to him in real life? So how does somebody like that just take the Fargo name without other people getting mad about it?
No, nobody gets mad about it. It'd be like if
I would think maybe like if Jackie Fargo just had a bunch of Fargos running around that he didn't really like.
Okay, I guess
he might get mad.
I guess
about
I
it.
was talking and was going to explain it, and you so rudely interrupted me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's like Jackie Fargo. He usually headquartered out of Nashville, so they would bring in Don Fargo and make him like Jackie's brother or Jackie's cousin, and they'd be a tag team. And then he'd do that for about a year. Then he would leave, go somewhere else again, and he might be Don something else, and he would come back again in maybe 2 years and tag up with Jackie Fargo again. And then he's only a Fargo when he's there. That would happen a lot. That like Johnny Rodz, when he was on the East Coast working for WWF, Vince McMahon Sr., he was Johnny Rodz. But when he went out to San Francisco and worked for Roy Shires, he wore the same boots, but he was Java Rook. and he did like a Egyptian gimmick or wild man, whatever. But Johnny Rods, he had the JR boots, Johnny Rods or Java Rook. So
it'd be more Jackie Fargo saying, "Come in and be a Fargo,"
yeah,
rather than this guy just being a Fargo on his own.
yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah,
that makes
because
makes
Fargo was over in the Nick Goulas territories, is what he was. When he got out of that territory, he really wasn't over. But Jackie was usually busy. He'd wrestle for a while, and he'd want to. He's always playing the horses. Let's just say he was the leader of shenanigans. You would love him.
awesome. Ben McClain says Saturday night can't be booked by Tony Khan. It's too good. Yeah, that's probably right. Dr. Doom, ratings at the Saturday night show are on the rise. They just need to hire more people for it. They just don't have enough. All the trampoline people are on Wednesday night. The real wrestlers on Saturday. They just need to hire some more real wrestlers. Let's see what else we got. The show was the shits. It was a freaking joke. Nothing made any sense. Charles Alfred, agree. Talking about the Wednesday night show. What else we got here? Don Leo Jonathan stories.
Okay, yeah, I worked with Don Leo Jonathan in Portland, and at one time he worked against Andre the Giant in Montreal, and their old baseball park held 29,000, and they drew 29,000 for the wrestling match. This is about 1972 or something like that, and it was called the Battle of the Giants. Don Leo Johnson, he's probably about 6'6", your size, and he was agile as fuck. And I remember I took a big slam off the top turnbuckle, him in Portland, and when or in Seattle, and when I landed, I said, "Oh fuck!" But he was a nice guy. He was a big ass star, Don Leo Jonathan.
I've never heard of him.
Well, you're
Like
you're too young.
Just never. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard of the Beatles.
Right.
I mean, I've heard of some wrestlers that are older. I just never was he ever in WWF? Not that I would have watched it either,
he was, but he was big in Montreal.
okay.
A lot of guys they would like usually go to three main territories. Once you're over, you might stay a year and then go somewhere else for a year, then go somewhere else for a year, and then now they miss you. It's the old wrestling adage: "How can you miss me if I don't ever leave?" So no, Don Leo Jonathan, he was a major star.
Huh. Says that he reminds him of Gunther.
Oh no,
No?
no, Gunther.
But he's about the same size. It sounds like no.
Gunther reminds me of Valden Lilas, except he's not as good as you.
Oh wow.
No, he's lost all this body fat.
Yeah.
And he does chops because he don't know how to throw a working punch. Now, the chops are great, but when you don't want to do too much of anything. And then they're pushing him as a big star, but he don't look like a star now.
You don't think so?
No, and he got zero pizzazz.
I kind of thought that when he stood next to Brock Lesnar, but I don't know. I like Gunther. I like him.
Well, you can,
and I don't think he chops as much. Maybe I don't know. I'm so used to watching AEW. Oh, I'm not used to watching it, but I'm so used to when I watch AEW, they chop 42 times. So when Gunther chops 4 times, it doesn't seem.
I remember
that bad.
I remember in WCW, nobody was really supposed to chop but Flair.
Right.
So they kept stuff special. So if that's Gunther's thing, then make the other ones not do it.
Well, I don't know if they're doing that, but I would say I don't think they're doing that because I just watched Drew McIntyre and somebody just beat the shit out of each other. I don't think it was Gunther. He just came back. I can't remember who it was, but he throws a pretty good chop too.
Drew McIntyre's a big guy.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah.
He looks great.
But
then he loses every match, so go figure. Don Fargo was a Dalton brother, early 1960s.
Yes, he was.
Fort Worth, Texas territory. Thank you, Poffo Maniac. Heavy D says, my father worked with Don Leo Jonathan when he was working as a diver retrieving the Irving whale. What's that mean? Was Don Leo Jonathan, was he a diver? I'm confused.
I don't know.
A diver retrieving the
I
Irving
know
whale.
he used to do a lot of stuff. He liked to go where the ocean was at all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he was a beach guy.
was working with the Maritimes at the time. He said.
Okay.
Banging like Bonzo in the house
Banging,
from Nova Scotia, baby.
banging like hi from Nova Scotia.
Talking about the Maritimes. I grew up cheering Leo Burke.
Leo Burke. Leo's in a hospice now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's looking bad.
And Killer Carl
Krupp. George Momberg, Killer Carl Krupp. Couple Killer Carl Krupp stories. One, he brought his belt into Southeastern like the European heavyweight champion. So Robert says, "Hey, you're the European heavyweight champion. We'll just let's defend it tonight." They just took the belt off Krupp, so that ended that. Good rib, huh? And then in Puerto Rico, Krupp was there, and Krupp said, "I said, Krupp, when you go out there, watch it. The guys are going to throw the batteries at you, the rocks and everything." He goes, Krupp runs from no man. He goose steps out there. All of a sudden, they start pelting him with these fucking batteries. Then all of a sudden, you see that old motherfucker just trying to sprint to the goddamn ring.
That's awesome.
Killer Carl Krupp from Calgary, George Momberg.
Galaxy Gamer 1107. I don't know who that is. Jamie Banks.
Oh, Casa Vubu, Jimmy Banks.
You know that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you ever wrestle?
Yes.
All right.
I met him in Oak Hill, West Virginia. Him and Stan Yak Nunes, who wrestled as Stan Nunes. But then, Jimmy Banks was a star in England. He was, he was Casa Vubu, was sort of like a Kamala years ago. And I think he was from Ohio. I think all them guys come down from Ohio with B.B. Coleman. Yeah, but Jimmy Banks was Casa Vubu. Him and Stan Yak Nunes were a tag team.
Wow. Who knew?
Well, I hadn't even thought about, him.
That's why we do this show, so people can ask us these questions. Jamie Waldrop says, who had the worst working punch you ever took, Rip?
Oh, my God. I told everybody Lanny Poffels got the best, but the worst, wow. Probably be a whole lot of guys.
Come up with somebody.
Nah, I can't.
No.
You can't say when you're saying who's the best. That means you're supposed to go through in your mind every guy you've ever seen, and the worst, every guy you've ever seen. So stuff like that's fucking stupid. I watched Willie Mays hit 3 home runs. And I watched Gary Nolan strike him out 4 times when Gary Nolan was with the Reds and he was 17 years old.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you can have the best and the worst. I know it don't make any sense, but what the hell, right?
No, I don't. I've never seen somebody throw the best punch in a match and then the worst punch in a match, probably. Like you can hit a home run and strike out.
Yeah.
Typically, if you can punch, you can punch.
Yeah, probably... I'd say 95% of the guys can't punch worth a shit.
Especially now.
Right.
I remember I had the first big 6-man tag match I was ever in at the Ramada Inn. And I think it was Mark Jindrak was kind of down in the buckle. I had no idea what I was doing. It was the first match. Threw a couple punches. And Cousin Crazy, I think, was either refereeing or filming or something. And after the match, Crazy was like, hey, if you don't know how to punch, don't punch.
Right.
I was like,
well, that's now just when I was starting out, you were scared to punch, and punching's the hardest thing to do in wrestling. It's the hardest thing to do. And, God, I remember I was afraid to punch people because it would either look phony or I'd hurt them. And you didn't. So you learned to kick, headbutt, rake, chop. You learned all these other different things. But if you can throw a nice working punch and let it mean something like a jab sequence and an uppercut and a nice right hand or whatever, and you don't use it too much, and the guys really sell you, you're really good. But most guys today can't do it.
I think Rob's Pippin Road is talking about Gunther. Maybe he said his chops are more throwback comparison to the modern. Instead of that back and forth shit, I cannot stand that back and forth shit. when they just stand
when they
there.
did turn and go bop, bop, and slap themselves.
Well, not that. I'm talking of that's awful too. But I'm talking when they chop
Uh-huh.
and then turn and stand there and let the next guy
Oh
chop.
yeah,
And then he turns and stands there and lets the next guy chop. They do it 40 times.
Yeah, to me, it's total fucking bullshit.
Says bring back Johnny Valentine and Wahoo.
Oh Jesus Christ, Wahoo! He was one of the greatest choppers. The three best choppers I was ever in with was Wahoo, Ronnie Garvin, and Nightmare Danny Davis. And Danny Davis was the smallest one, but his hurt the worst. God damn.
Yeah, I could really be a dick right now. you want me to?
Yeah, I'll be a dick.
You just said I cannot answer any of these best or worst questions. Those are stupid fucking questions. And then you say, you say the best choppers.
Okay.
So you went through your head every chopper.
If you ask me the same thing, that question, I've done that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you've already been through.
Yes, I've already done that one. It used to be Ronnie Garvin and Wahoo, and then when I started working a lot with Danny, then I added him.
So what was it like? Let me ask you this question then. Like, because you would chop people, obviously. Yep. So when you had somebody like Danny Davis, did you?
I always blistered them first.
So you did though. So
I blistered them, and then they retributed, and then I backed away.
But did you let him hit you though?
Oh hell yeah!
Did you ever think like, God, I just don't really that hurt? Like sometimes when I get in there with somebody that can really give it back to me, it makes me think.
Well, if you go in there aggressive and basically say "fuck you" and whatever,
but Danny would say it back though, and probably do it back.
Yeah.
So then do you just be like, all right, enough of that? I'm not doing this 40 times. I'll take my one and bail.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
I like the one and bail, and the rest of the time I'll be selling that the whole time. Yeah. I may be dumb, but I ain't stupid.
Dave's channel, he's in green, baby. So we got to make sure we take all these greens. Hey, we get a lot of questions. I had somebody saying some stuff last week. I can't get to every single question, but if you're in green, I'll try my damnedest not to miss you. If you're in green, that means you're a member. Dave's channel, has Rip ever worked with Cowboy Bob Orton?
We were tag partners for a while.
Was that ICW or where was that?
Yes, yeah, in ICW, and I got to help train Randy Orton, but I worked with Bob Orton, Cowboy Bob Orton's dad, Bob Sr.
So all three of them, really?
Yeah. So I was working for All Star Wrestling when they went opposition to Ron Fuller in Knoxville. I think it was like 78 or something like that, and we went over and slept on there. Me and Randy Savage went over there. And when they'd come work for us, we'd pay them. But me and Randy, we was single guys, so we just went over there and worked for them for free. We was there like 3 days, and they fed us, and because that was like Knoxville, 3 hours from Lexington, so that was fun. But I got to work against Bob Orton Sr., and this is what a mark I was, because he's going like, "Okay, Mark, let's do this." He says, "You know a top wrist lock?" I said, "Yeah." So in other words, I'm like a mark, like all the guys are today, wanting to get our shit in. So when the match is over, I'm boo-boo face. I got my tongue hitting the ground. I'm Johnny Longchin, as Regal would say. I'm mad because Bob Orton Sr. goes, that was good. He said, "You get hurt?" I said, "No." He goes, "People were with it." I said, "Yeah, they really screamed more than they ever have for me because I was babyface." And then he just laughed. He knew I was a mark. And I said, maybe next time I can get in a drop kick or something like that. He says, "Hey, this thing ain't broken. There ain't no need to fix it."
So then why were you boo-boo faced? Did I miss something?
Because I was a mark.
Did you do something wrong, or you just didn't think it was a good match? Or?
No, because we had all this reaction doing nothing.
So you wanted to get your shit
I wanted
in.
to get my shit in like everybody else starting out, because that's what you think you have to do.
I see.
Hey, remember the match in Seymour when Tojo was there with Sato?
Yeah.
And we had 20 minutes gone and had not touched yet. 20 minutes gone, we hadn't touched yet. So that's the way it's supposed to be. And the people were screaming and having a good time and yelling the whole time. And Sato's laughing. "Rip's on. You want to do a high spot?" I said, "Fuck that. Get your heat."
So the question was in regards to Bob Orton, I think Junior, Cowboy Bob Orton. Would that be Junior? Did you work with him in ICW?
We were partners a few times.
Did you ever wrestle him?
No. But Bob Orton Jr. was so good that I asked Randy, I said, Randy, Bob Orton.
Randy Orton or Randy Savage?
Oh, Randy Savage. I said, on the montage, I said, Bob Orton does every move better than everybody else. He says, I know, but we put you on the montage, me on the montage, the miser, Bob Roop, Ronnie Garvin, blah, blah, blah. And we don't have to be on TV, but we get our shit over. There's Crusher Broomfield wrestling the bear. Here's the girls in a mud match. And people say, damn, what a great open. And all these people get exposure by just being the open of the show and the end of the show. But Bob Orton Jr., he, as far as the wrestling ability, he was never a great talker, but he was one of those. That's when he was he was Ace Orton with Roddy Piper in WWF. He was one of the best workers. He could do everything. Of course, he was second generation, so Randy's third generation. So you can imagine having his grandpa and his dad helping him with everything. So that's why Randy's just so phenomenal. And he's one of the guys that less is more, and he just works old style, and everybody else could do a bunch of stupid flips and shit.
So we've talked about those two. We might as well get into Randy a little bit. Here's the question somebody actually asked on our channel. Like when you saw Randy come in, I remember seeing Randy come in. I was there. Well, not really there, but I was kind of starting to go to some shows or whatever. And I've watched some on YouTube recently. And obviously when you get started, you're not, just great. Most people aren't the fucking guy who's the guy in WWE now that Logan Paul. Not everybody's just which he can really do the moves or whatever. Did you see it in Randy Orton? Like when he got to OVW, were you like, this guy's going to be a star? Or do you remember back then? What your thoughts?
Yeah, I knew he was going to be a star.
You did?
Yeah, because he was about 6'5" to begin with. You would not realize how big he was.
Yeah, he's tall.
And then he's been schooled for the wrestling business his whole life. So he wasn't intimidated by anything. If you were a star, you're just a geek you're just a guy that come over to the house and drank beer with my dad.
But wasn't there a question like on his work ethic early or something like that? Like where he didn't really give a shit too much about it or didn't really.
Well, let's put it this way. When Randy come in with the other guys, he was polished compared to the other guys. They'd never been in wrestling, like Brock, like Shelton Benjamin, like Batista.
So you think Randy had training before OVW?
Oh,
did he?
Just visual training.
Oh, okay.
Mental training. The other guys, well, they didn't know anything about it at all. So this stuff, no matter what, is new to them. And Randy's just shaking his head and laughing. And Randy was a tough guy. Randy had already joined the army and went AWOL, went to prison and everything, right? He'd just laugh about it. But because he didn't, he really didn't want to be a wrestler. I think he didn't want to follow his.
That's what I was saying.
He didn't really want to follow into his dad. But then again, he was so good at it and he was such a natural for it. He might as well just take the money and run.
Yeah. Oh, he's had a long ass career. I mean, he was cool that night. We went to the one show at the Pepsi Coliseum or wherever it was. After the match, Randy Orton was in the main event against what's his name? I can't remember, but he came back after the last match, sat down with me and Rip and a couple other guys. I think Flash Flanagan was there. Didn't even take his gear off. Sat there and shot the shit in the backstage dressing room, whatever, for literally like an hour or 2 hours, to where the people working there were like, "Hey, you
get
guys,
the hell out of here!
You guys ever gonna leave or what?"
Yeah.
And Orton just sat there in his gear and
he was just bullshitting like he's
shot
one of the
shit.
guys.
He was awesome, man.
Yeah,
he was over with me that day. Hey, look what I popped up here, Rip. We got a big payment here. Super chat. Kill City Cup. Kill Corp. Thanks you for putting over the greatest wrestling movie of all time. Kill City Cup. We can get the chance. KCC. Come on, Rip.
KCC.
Hell yeah.
Kill City Cup, ladies and gentlemen.
The rumor has it, Rip, there's going to be a Kill City Cup 2. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I can't wait for that movie to come out. Now I lost where it is. Where I can get that thing off there. Oh, forgot to put that one on there too. Big Al, super sticker. Thanks, Al Robinson. Appreciate that.
Did that Big Al say, gentlemen?
He did somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see where we went here. Let's see if I can get back.
Hey, we're on Sort of Fire today talking about Cowboy Bob Orton and Jimmy Banks, Casa Vubu. Don Fargo. We're talking some shit we never talked. Well, then again, nobody asked us about it before.
Well, yeah.
So
We'll
when-
just
well,
this
yeah.
is Ask Rip Rogers Live, Rip.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
we
a
just
lot of
kinda-
times it'll say something and we forget and put the wrong thing up. So where's the opinion haver today? Haver.
He might have his own show at 10 o'clock in the morning. I think Ben Hameen runs a show on Friday morning,
Oh.
doesn't he? We got tough competition. That reminds me, he always puts on our show and gets on our show. You got to go check out the vet opinion haver. He's got a show. Man, I wrote down the times one day. It's like Wednesday morning or whatever. Yeah, Wednesday morning. He reviews NXT. So go check out their NXT review. It's on the Hameen Media group. Go check. I'm plugging somebody, Rip. We'll get to the chat. We're trying to put people over here that put us over. We're trying to give back, try to give back.
Well, that's what I was trying to point something out. Excuse fucking me.
Well, yeah, but you talk about me interrupting you, then you.
I didn't interrupt you.
when
You
when
were
you start
talking.
doing that,
All I'm doing
what
is
are you
pointing
doing?
to one.
What are you doing then? What are you trying to get to then?
Point well taken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don Leo Jonathan had a diving business. Who knew, Rip? Did you know that?
I remember he did something, but I didn't know.
Maybe that's why he was always hanging out at the beach.
Yeah. He was always talking about it too.
Man, that guy's always at the beach. Oh, fuck yeah, he was.
He was so fucking good.
Puffomaniac, the Mormon giant, Don Leo Jonathan had multiple bouts versus world champions, late 50s. No wonder I'd never heard of him. Late 50s was Pat O'Connor and Lou Thesz. Did you work in Florida or Memphis? I'd say Florida. No. Which did you like more, Florida or Memphis?
Oh, Florida by far.
Yeah.
Florida, you had Miami every week. You had Tampa every week. You had Jacksonville every week. You had Orlando every week. You go to the Bahamas for kayfabe cash once a month. And then this was the Eddie Graham run territory. So it was at one time, it was probably the best NWA territory there was. They drew big time.
Jamie says after you yelled at him and said it was the stupidest question you've ever heard.
Which one?
About the worst punch or whatever.
Yeah, it is.
He said, rephrase then. Who did you dread facing because you knew you were going to get battered and bruised the next day?
That's a good question.
Hey,
but that was a good question.
Job, Jamie.
That was a good question. But I had no fear out there because I knew that what anybody beat me up, I was going to beat them up even more because they would get tired and I would not. I was in such good shape.
What about the Steiners? You think you would have just beat up the Steiners?
Oh my God, I would not even. Now wait a minute.
You had no fear. And then I say the Steiners.
No, but the Steiners don't beat you up with that. They drop you on your head and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's when they do that big finish. Oh, I'd be scared to death.
Yeah, I guess there is a difference between just getting beaten up, chops, punches, whatever, and getting dropped on your head.
The Steiner brothers, they weren't big punchers.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if Rick Steiner hit you with that clothesline, God damn, he'd rattle your jaw.
John Tucker in green. Did you ever wrestle under a mask? Either of I never did.
Yeah, I did for one. I went down after I left ICW. I went down and worked for Ron Fuller for a week. And I worked under the hood, was going to work with Buck Robley from Frankfort, Indiana. And he used to be the booker at one time for Bill Watts. And I was working for him and I put some mask on and it was hard to breathe, hard to see. So I just took that son of a bitch off. I said,
like during the match or
I said, fuck this.
That's funny.
The first time you get in there, you get like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You can't hardly breathe and see. It was getting, and then Buck was ribbing me and turned it a little bit so I couldn't see. So I said, fuck you, motherfucker. I'll just take, I'd put you over. I'll just take it off myself.
I don't know if this is a trick question. In your opinion, is the older style wrestling better than the new wrestling?
Is what now?
You like old style wrestling or new wrestling better, Rip?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I like old style wrestling. Today's wrestling ain't even fucking wrestling. Vince McMahon destroyed the fucking wrestling business. God damn. And then Tony Khan comes along and plays a little fucking game. Jesus Christ. The wrestling is fucking horrible. Now you can be good, but you're considered great.
Sounds to be like Rip likes new wrestling.
Yes, no. 1,000 times no.
Any Joe LeDuc stories?
Oh, I was scared to death, Joe LeDuc.
I was too, and I never even
I
met
made-
him or saw
I
him.
made some trips with him, and he had the big Joe.
Oh, you did?
The big Joe LeDuc van. It was me and Joe LeDuc and Handsome Jimmy.
Oh my God! Are you
Oh
serious?
yeah.
That
And,
would-
and Joe would fuck with me because I was half mark, and he'd scare the shit out of me.
Oh, keep going.
He was a good guy, and he used to go into Waffle House, and I never seen a human being eat so much food. And those lumberjack pants he wore, they were like what do you call it? Like stretchy stuff. They weren't real jeans or anything.
Yeah.
But when I first met him, I said, "Oh, I thought them were real blue jeans." He said,
Yeah.
"Oh," he goes, "Oh, hell no."
So then, what did you ever get him? I mean, was he really like that, or was that? Did you ever get him out of character?
No, he always stayed in character.
So you were always kind of scared.
Oh yeah, years ago, the wrestlers pretty much stayed in character 24/7.
Even with each other.
Yes. I mean, the King was the King, Superstar was Superstar, Jimmy Valiant was Jimmy Valiant, Joe LeDuc was Joe LeDuc, Randy Savage was Randy Savage, Ronnie Garvin was Ronnie Garvin. It was
He wasn't really that tall, though, was he?
who
Joe LeDuc.
he's one of those guys. You didn't say, "Oh, you're 6 foot ½ inch tall." You just knew. You looked at his fucking eyes, and you was scared to death of him.
I've told the story. I know I've told you. I've surely told it on here. But when I was a kid, we went to Louisville Gardens. We had front row seats. Joe LeDuc was on the card. I was scared to death that Joe LeDuc was when he coming out going to do something to me in the front row. They announced before the show, ladies and gentlemen, Joe LeDuc will not be here tonight. You know, one of those, if you want your ticket money back or whatever, you can. Joe LeDuc will not be here. And I just, the weight of the world just went off my shoulders. I was so relieved now I could just have a good time and not worry about getting cut up with an axe or whatever by Joe LeDuc.
Remember when he cut his?
He came right out, just sliced his arm.
Oh, I said, Jesus,
right on
Christ.
the TV show, wasn't it? It was on.
It was on the TV show.
Memphis TV just slices his arm with an axe on.
He had them old eyes wide open. I said, "Holy shit, fuck this."
Now, did he ever go WWF?
I don't think so. I remember him a lot when he would work. Well, he was French Canadian, where he had worked for the old Montreal territory. He might have worked Vancouver, maybe Stu Hart, but he was really good. Joe LeDuc.
Joe LeDuc, baby.
Then he had his brother, who was Paul LeDuc.
I've heard that name. Were they really brothers or not?
Yeah, he was really brothers, and he was a smaller. He didn't work like Joe because he wasn't the physically imposing wrestler that Joe was. So he just, if they was a tag team, he'd sell, and then Joe beat everybody up if they were babyface.
I remember he like teamed up with Paul Diamond or something in Memphis when Paul Diamond was younger, and they were like some Canadian connection or something. But then he turned on him and just about beat him to death, and I was like, holy shit. It was wild. Good question, Dr. Doom. Clayton says, how do I find the KCC? I'd like to watch it. It's on YouTube. I don't know. Go to YouTube and search Kill City Cup. I think it's its own channel. The whole show is on there. So go there. Any wrestling Ron or Don Wright, Rip?
We was wrestling in Knoxville.
Were you hit with the chisel? I think we've talked about the chisel.
Well, we talked about the chisel, yeah, but we'll refresh it. Don Wright or Ronnie and Donnie. Now, Ron was the legend. Donnie was funny. And I was watching one match there on the stage in Knoxville, and I was talking to somebody. I said, well, Donnie's making sure, well, there's not going to be any violence tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that...
He was comical to me.
Okay.
Now Don Wright, or Ron Wright he was the badass. He wouldn't have had the chisel. He'd go right after the fans, and the fans put his plane on fire. He used to fly a plane, and they douse it with gas and put it on fire. He was the legend. He was a badass. He'd fight anybody for no reason.
Wow. I love that the questions make everything unpredictable. Yeah, our questions, we don't really prep for this shit anyway, whether we took questions or not. How did you keep in shape, Rib, if you're always in the car traveling next town every day?
It's pretty simple. You get up early and train at the gym, or you get in the dressing room. You start doing squats, you start doing lunges, you start doing calves, you start doing stretching. You got some rubber hose, and you do push-ups the whole fucking time you're there. That's how you goddamn do it. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard, Drew. Get with it.
That's right.
Did Bob Roop ever put you in the sugar?
Oh, whenever he wanted to. There was nothing I could do about it. And as a matter of fact, if you ever watched the second Brock Lesnar MMA fight, UFC against Frank Mir, you see Brock sugars
Oh, really?
Frank Mir, and he had him hooked and just kept beating him in the face.
Oh, wow.
And he beat him half to death. And what's his face? Joe Rogan didn't know what that hold was. He called it a modified neck crank. And that some bitch had him sugared. So if you look into the Frank Mir versus Brock Lesnar, the second fight, because the first one, Brock was beating the shit out of him, and then Frank Mir got that ankle lock, or Achilles tendon lock on him, was what it was, and Brock felt the pain and he gave up. And this guy was NCAA wrestling champ. But then again, if he figured out to get Frank Mir, and he sugared that son of a bitch. He was using real old style stuff.
Look at this, Rip. We got a Galaxy Gamer $10 super sticker
All
today,
right.
Rip. Thank you, Galaxy. I think that's because they asked the question about which wrestling you like better, and are you fucking kidding me? Hey, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Oh, your friend is back, Libra. What was your favorite submission hold to stretch a jobber you didn't particularly like? Oh, I can't believe it's not more of a sexual question.
No, it was usually a sugar hold or a front face lock, a grovit.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can all you need is one arm. You can hurt him good time.
Roy Baker in the house. And I'm not sure I know Roy Baker. Is that a new listener? Welcome, Roy. Welcome to the channel.
Did I ever meet Pompero Firpo?
A lot of
Yeah, he was when I was school teaching in Union City, Indiana, right across the border there. They used to wrestle at Dayton Hare Arena every Tuesday night. And Pompero Firpo, he was one of the he was a regular. He always worked for the Sheik. He worked a lot in San Francisco, and that's where Randy Savage got his "oh yeah" from.
Oh yeah, somebody said that.
As a matter of fact, his daughter was on Twitter today, and she goes under Pompero Firpo because he passed away. But he was a postman for over 20 years after he retired from wrestling.
Cool.
The wild bull of the Pampas, Pompero Firpo. Now, when he was in Hawaii, he worked as the missing link. Guys would change. You go to different territories, you change names.
So did he look like the other
No,
Dewey? He wasn't like the green face with
no, he had the long hair, the full beard and everything. Yeah, when Dewey was just Dewey Robertson.
Yeah.
Then he clipped all of his hair off and did this and that. Dewey used to travel with me and Bundy a lot. Whenever Dewey'd get in the car, he just started sleeping. So, and then he was always kayfabing us. He didn't want to drive. So me and Bundy just pull over, and I said, "Your turn to drive." He goes, "Oh, I'm sleepy." I said, "Well, we'll just sit here and we'll all go to sleep. And then when you wake up, you drive us in." All of a sudden, he wasn't sleepy anymore. Don't rib me, mate.
That's awesome. Hey, I just threw this backdrop up here real quick, Rip. So look at that little logo we got. Rip Rogers.
I saw that. It was awesome.
So Kevin Edwards sent that to us. Sent us an email.
That's FA. Fucking awesome.
There you go. So we got that new logo, the Rip Rogers logo. I put that on the
greatest in many months.
Of our YouTube videos. So thank you, Kevin.
Hey, did I tell everybody?
Kevin Edwards, baby.
Yeah,
right there.
Did I tell everybody I was going down to do the seminar down in Orlando today?
Go ahead, tell them.
Well, I'm flying out today, and then I got the seminar tomorrow, and they're supposed to do some pilot for some who knows TV show or whatever.
You didn't even tell me about this pilot for this reality show.
It really wasn't explained to me because they want to keep it hush hush. So the whole wrestling world might know this now. We might have an avalanche.
Yeah, we have 20 people watching. Everybody's gonna know.
Everybody, yeah. I had telephone, telegraph, telewrestler.
We ought to just do our own damn reality show. I don't, Rip, you mentioned you were confident in the ring, especially due to your cardio. Any particular exercises on the road that help you? I think you already said push-ups. And on the road, did you do anything in the car?
A lot of times I did.
Remember you used to hold your stomach,
I
you
used to
tighten
do-
your stomach
yeah,
the whole drive or whatever?
Isometrics. You could do isometrics anywhere. There's no if you're fat and lazy, that's on you. Figure it out.
Jamie said that Joe LeDuc went to the WWF for like a month or so as Butcher LeDuc.
Okay.
It was sad, he said. Payouts to certain territories were the shits. Who was the cheapest booker?
No, there's not a cheapest booker.
And more generous booker in the business. Dave's channel, Easy Green. Oh, that reminds me something because you had said I think Bill Watts paid you well or paid.
Oh
well,
yeah,
took care of you.
Mhm.
So then somebody said, well, then why did he? If he paid so well, then why did people go to Vince? And I'm like, well, I'm assuming Vince. Nobody could match.
Well,
Vince,
nobody
right?
could match. Nobody could match Vince.
I mean,
but you got to remember in Bill Watts's territory, it wasn't you were flying. You were wrestling in Mississippi or Louisiana, like Houston, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and one other a part of one other state, Arkansas. Yeah. But I remember this is 40 years ago, and Junkyard Dog, he was making $200,000 a year in a car.
oh yeah,
Yeah, 40 years ago.
wow.
So
No, so what always the shits?
You could make money.
Never really heard Rip discuss belts. Got any favorite belts, Rip?
No. No, a belt's a prop. Here, you're the champion. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to be responsible. I remember in Puerto Rico, they would El Gran Vikingo, he would collect all the belts, and then he put him in this super big suitcase that you could lock and everything. Because a lot of the guys, if they didn't like their payoff, they just take the belt with them and fly home and sell it to somebody.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So they'd have to. So you'd come in, they'd give you your belt, you'd have your match, you'd have to give it back. And in the El Vikingo, who was a wrestler, referee, etc., office, it was his job to make sure everybody got their belts back in every night.
Lieber said, I thought you would say a rear-seated chin lock or camel clutch. You seem to use those a lot. How did it feel to bend them backward while sitting on their lower back? Lieber was the one that used to ask you all the sexual holds and questions.
Well, I wanted a younger, more attractive man,
Did you use the camel clutch a lot, Rip?
No.
I think I just saw you beat...
No.
maybe that was the Boston Crab.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boston Crab, I use that as a finish. See, on a Boston Crab, you can put on anybody, no matter how big or how small, and without hurting somebody. And that's what you want. If you're hurting somebody or you're hurting yourself doing a stupid move, get you a new move.
You obviously never saw my match where I tried to put Eugene in the Boston Crab.
You probably did it.
Where I drove my head right into the mat.
Okay.
Everybody said that was the Boston Crab driver.
Oh, okay.
I went and tried this, and I boom. Head, so not everybody can do it, or
no, you just have to know the secrets.
Yeah, it was.
You always take it and then turn them. You don't.
I did, but when I turned him, I was too low, and his legs were too tall, big, and I was too tall. My legs were too skinny, and his
lean legs
just boom. Drove my head straight into the mat. Big burn across my forehead. I got my balance back, and that's when Melina came in with the big kiss spot. So I knew I had to.
You had
that was her cue.
So it was bone check.
The Boston Crab was the cue for her to make the run in.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't do it earlier when she'd run in.
Just right away. Just keep going to the Boston Crab.
The little tongue action in there. What the hell?
Kevin Edwards, great logo. Yeah, it is. Not a question. It was. What's that saying? Not for a question. It was Rip was nice to me when I was little, and you, Danny Bash went to school together or something, I think he's saying. Danny Bash has been on the show. Hey, that reminds me, go back, watch our old shit, watch our interviews, watch everything. Go like this shit right now. Everything we got that you can possibly do, like it, smash it, comment on it, all that kind of stuff. Helps the channel out tremendously. Share it. Tell people we're going live. Whatever you can do to help the channel, we really, really appreciate it. Isn't that right, Rip?
That's right.
Tell people we appreciate them every once in a while. Rip,
well, it's hard enough for me to focus these glasses since
I read every one of them to you. You don't have to sit there and keep squinting and staring and worrying about the chat. I don't think I've missed one yet.
Oh, okay. Did you miss this one?
No, the
The rip-
Ripperoonie.
Yeah,
there, okay.
yeah. The
all right.
Ripperoni was
The Ripperoni.
yeah. That's
There, how's
when
that?
Bruce Hart told me to
I
do,
believe we got left.
do the Boston Crab in Calgary, but he wanted me to hump him. So that's when when I met Chris Jericho, he was talking to me about the Ripperoni. So he uses the Wall of Jericho's, but I say he always stole my Ripperoni without humping. Jericho, he got some mileage on him. That some bitch still playing music, still being over, still making that goddamn money. Got to respect him for that.
Yeah, still making
that money,
shitload of
baby.
money.
Making that money.
So I looked at a couple of our stats today, Rip. People say they don't know, like when we're going live and stuff like that. There's only like 5% of the people on this channel that have their notifications on and set for our stuff. So I was trying to get to a place here to show people actually how to do it. Can't get it to go on my phone, but if you just go where you subscribe, go right where you subscribe to our show.
Subscribe.
First of all, make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe.
If you click on it, there's some options that come up.
Options.
Click on notification. Click on all.
All notifications.
All notifications.
I don't have any of them. I don't know how this shit works.
You don't even subscribe.
I don't even know. Yeah, but they always want that pertinent information.
Then also you got to go to your settings on your phone. Your phone
settings.
And go to YouTube. The YouTube app. And move the notifications over.
What's app stand for?
Application.
An application.
I fucking don't know. So then do that. So you got to have your settings on your application on your phone. Enable them on the YouTube channel. So you get notifications when we put out videos or when we go live. Right now of the listen to this. Give me a drum roll, Rip.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Keep going. Keep going. That's not really a drum roll. Oh, that's okay. We are at 5,000. Oh, we just lost 2. I'm gonna lie. We're at 5,000. We're at 5,800 subscribers.
We lost 2. It's probably somebody with kayfabe.
Probably the one guy just cussed out and told him.
What'd you cuss him out for?
Fuck off our channel.
What happened?
Because he said he didn't want to be in any kind of wrestling clubs or whatever. When I tried to get him to subscribe to the channel.
Well, we're not a wrestling club.
Okay, well, wrestling show, whatever.
Wrestling? What?
So anyway, 5,800 subscribers, and out of that, only 4% of them get notified when we do something on here. Turn your damn notifications on. Tell them, Rip.
Where's Opinion Haver?
Tell them to turn their tell them to turn their notifications.
Turn on your notifications.
Where's Opinion Haver? Did you ever work with Brody? Did you work with Brody, Rip?
Bruiser Brody?
I guess so.
I worked 4 weeks in a row with him in Kansas City.
Okay. Did I see Bill Alfonso in one of your matches?
Oh yeah, Fonzie was one of the referees in when I worked for Championship Wrestling from Florida, or you just call it the Tampa Territory. And Fonzie is David Sierra's brother. David Sierra is the assassin, the guy we was talking about, and he was a Cuban. He was the assassin in Portland. He was a Cuban assassin. I think he was 3 different characters. Hell, he was at that at the Charlotte Fan Fest, and I talked to him for a while. But yeah, Fonzie was a really good referee, and he only weighed at the time. He probably weighed about 145 pounds, if that. So he made the boys look real big.
That's how you should want your referees, isn't it?
What's that?
Isn't that how you should want your referees?
Oh yeah, but like in OVW, we'd have Dean Hill, who's 6'12", like
he's an announcer. Though.
Yeah, and then we'd have Kenny Bolin, the manager, who's about 500 pounds, right?
Yeah. Where
most guys would have like Downtown Bruno, little guy, or Jimmy Hart, make the wrestlers look real big. The announcers would be normal size. So if the wrestler was 6 foot tall, he might tower over him. So that's all the secrets that you should be doing in wrestling, but it don't always happen that way.
Clayton says, I've been going back, watching, liking, and commenting on our video. I've noticed that, Clayton. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Did you ever want to make an opponent hurt in a hold?
A lot of times you would. A lot of times you'll just fuck with you. And a guy that's a big shooter, he'll get you help, then he'll fuck with you for a while, and it's all in good fun. That's like I said, I'm wrestling Bad News Brown, who was a Olympic judo champion in the Olympics. He got a bronze medal in the 76 Olympics. So I said, come on, News, let's go. I got to feel it. In other words, I'm challenging, motherfucker. Took me about 30 seconds and I'm screaming. He just took a hammerlock and put it so far up my ass almost. I'm saying, God damn, News, let me out. Oh, no, you had to feel it. You had to try me, didn't you? Okay, now. I said, please, Alan, let me out of here. Oh, no, you're going to suffer now, motherfucker. Bad news was bad news.
I'd love to see Tommy Wildfire Rich on the show. I would too, Dr. Doom. I think it'd be awesome. Did someone say fired up? Vaughn fired a follower. Sure did. Did you wrestle Bill Eadie much, Rip?
No, we was always Bill Eadie. He's one of the nicest guys, and I seen him at the Charlotte Fan Fest, and he plugged her show. But Bill Eadie, he was a real good pro. When I was going to Global in '91, he was the booker, but he would have me do my own finishes. He says, you know what you do, and you know whatever. Watch everybody else and do something different. Got you, boss. So he was an educated, good-looking guy, knew the wrestling business, and nothing but good things to say about Bill Eadie, mass superstar.
He'd be a good person to have on the show.
Sure would.
Yeah. Did you get like an email for him or anything like that?
I don't even know my own email.
So we could get in touch with him. Come on here.
Huh. Next time I will next time.
Look at this little thing I got going on, Rip. It's called a ticker. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
that's a ticker. Look,
they'd had the ticker like you go to Times Square, New York.
But I have one right here though.
Okay, but it'd be like the
check out our.
It's
just like this right here.
Oh, you're like,
you don't have to compare it to anything. It's right here. Look, I'm trying to put over your T-shirt right there.
Oh, okay.
Now look what else I got. Look, watch.
What is it?
Email questions to thelilastudios@gmail.com.
Email ask questions to the lilastudios@gmail.com.
I got a ticker I got going. Now watch this one.
Don't forget to like every video of ours that you watch, including this one, and leave us some comments. It helps our channel grow. Except the guy that they took, but we did lose the 2 because you smarted off to somebody.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Fuck them. Well, okay.
I don't need people like that on my channel anyway, man.
Yeah, you tell them how over you are.
You want people like that on your channel?
Well, if they want to send us some Greeno, what the fuck, right?
Oh, please. You lived your whole life not doing that to anybody for anything.
As the Sheik would say, I'm just dribbing you.
Put over our new members one more time in case some of you were not on here earlier today. We'll do this one more time here at the end. Welcome, spelled wrong. New members, John Tucker, Brian, Whitewater, Tom, and Clayton.
Shit, it don't get any better than that.
And then all our members. Michael Costello, where's he been, man? He's been MIA. Somebody figure out where Michael Costello's been. I haven't seen him for weeks.
Where's the Buckshot Kid?
He's been on.
I know, but he ain't.
He's not a member.
Oh, he's not?
No,
he needs to fucking join.
He's not a member. Pinyahaver's been a long-standing member, I tell you that.
And remember, do not ever mention Manny the Weasel Valverde on here.
Screw him.
That's what I just said. Do not mention him. Screw Manny the Weasel Valverde. He's probably out. You know, he had the 45th. And he's telling me how his weight's 213. And he's shredded. And he'd beat Eric Jimenez in that pose down if they had one. And he's over. And he had all the women drooling over him. And he's Larison said, yeah, he sat with Manny there, the Weasel.
Rip, if you had a week to do it all again in your prime, is there a particular year, territory you'd love to work the loop? Like if you could go back one more time to one more loop to one more territory, you have any idea where you'd pick?
It would be nice to go back and work like 1 week at each territory you were ever at. Now that would be heaven. You know, if you could go back to the old opponents, they all worked a different style to those towns, the same old rats, going to the same
get the rats in
the same hotels, the same places you ate at, the gyms you trained at in each territory. I mean, wrestling's nothing but memories.
So you can't pick one?
No. They would all be great because it'd be just memory lane.
I've heard guys going to vacation in Hawaii and work the show while they're there, make a few bucks on vacay. Rip, did you ever do the Hawaiian circuit?
Well, what you used to do a lot of times is guys would go to Japan and they'd work the show in Hawaii, and then when on the way back they might work there. But that was a more vacation thing. But I remember when the Rock's grandmother was promoting the world's biggest show. There must have been 60 wrestlers on it in 1985. And Wahoo wanted me to go, and they still advertised me, but I didn't go. I said, no, it's going to be some 8-hour show. Your check's probably going to bounce because it's going to cost to bring all these guys over here. I'm living in Tampa. Why? And the ocean's right there. Why in the hell would I want to go all the way across the country, go to Hawaii, come all the way back? Fuck that.
Did you ever wrestle Bill Dundee?
Oh yeah.
That was Dundee.
Little bastard was stiff when he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in shape. I'll tell you that. SS.
I've never seen, I don't think I've ever seen anything with you and Dundee. Is that Memphis, just like not TV, or do you remember?
I think,
or maybe I don't ever remember.
Now he was in Seymour, wasn't he?
I don't know. Now, do you remember it was Dundee, I believe, that yelled at the King? You remember that? That was Dundee.
No.
So we were at a show. Where would you have worked, like in Crothersville? Did you work like a Red, White, and Blue Fest or something?
Yes.
So we went to.
Was the King on the stage?
Oh hell no! On the stage? What do you mean?
Because I remember when we worked the 4th of July or the Red, White, and Blues thing in Crothersville, we was all up on the stage.
I don't know. We had a gimmick table,
okay.
And I feel like we were out front where people came in before they would come into.
Oh, so you had the premier spot.
Well, everybody, all the gimmick tables were out there.
I know, but that's like Adrian Street always had the first one. Him or Austin Idol always had the first.
Oh,
one.
I'm not saying we had the first one.
Yeah.
The gimmick tables were just set up before you entered. Let's
Right.
call it a gym.
Okay.
So we're sitting there, and the King, that's back when the King did like buttons and pictures and grab bags. Well, he had taken all these pictures and made copies of them to sell them. Well, he had a big stack of Bill Dundee pictures.
Oh, that's taboo. No.
And Dundee had his table like right next to us.
Oh God.
So Dundee comes over to check out our gimmick table.
Right.
He's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And King's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're selling my picture." King's like, "Well, yeah, I got a whole bunch of them." He's like, "No, you're not selling my picture. I'm selling my picture."
That's one of the
and then Dundee went to you and said, "What the fuck is this guy doing? Get over here." He was hot. He was pissed.
Well,
and you were like, "Oh, calm down, Bill.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's here for me. He doesn't have a clue." You're like, "King, put those pictures away. Get with it,
that's
you
a
geek."
good story.
Oh yeah, Dundee was hot.
Well, I mean, that's how the guys make that extra money, you know. I mean, it'd be like if you were Von Lilas on tour, whatever, blah blah blah, and then I'd be selling your pictures.
Yeah.
And I'd be in the first tape. I want Von Lilas' picture. Oh, I got it right here. I'll even autograph it.
Yeah. Lieber says he'd love to see you humiliate Scott Anthony, Scotty Flamingo, Johnny Polo. They were partners. We got it on our channel. He didn't humiliate him, but they were partners in the cartel for Global. Got those matches on our channel, Rip. Kill City Cup says Kill Corp is improving all the Rip Rogers technology. I don't know how you're improving our technology. What do you mean there, Kill City Cup? I don't get it. Explain that. I'm the one that edited your video, man. Come on, dude. Improving all the Rip Rogers technology. Do you know what that means?
No.
Is it because we couldn't get on here today?
Well, we had a rough day getting on here today.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Roy said, "Did you ever do a moonsault, Rip?"
Oh hell no!
I would never do a moonsault. No.
You might kill yourself. What the hell's the matter with you?
No moonsaults here at Lila Studios. Dave Channel, Buck Zoomhoff. Did Rip ever have the luxury or wrestling that give me grimy pedophile with a boombox?
No, I never wrestled Buck. He always worked for usually Minneapolis is where he broke in at, and he was a good hand. I guess he had a little bit of sexual exploits, but I ain't gonna throw no dirt at anybody. What the fuck?
We don't know all the facts.
Right.
Well, there might be out there, but we haven't looked at them.
Yeah.
Clayton says, do your shirts. This shirt right here come in double X tall. I know it's double X. I don't know if it's double X tall. Whatever it is, go buy one and see if it fits. If not, where's the belly shirt?
Yeah, and then just work out and have the big guns and whatever, right?
Just wear it as a belly shirt. Or give it to your boyfriend or girlfriend, and let her wear it as a nightgown. Did you ever wrestle Paul Jones, Rip?
No, I was on a lot of shows with him when he was just the manager.
Yeah,
but he was a mainstay. He was a top baby face in Carolina for years and years.
Oh, that's a good question, I think, from Jamie. You had the feuds with Adrian Street and some. Did anybody ever think about putting you guys as a tag team? I think that'd be one hell of a tag team, man.
I think you're right. It would be.
Was that never out there? Nobody ever mentioned it, or?
I don't think so. It's really sort of too much of the same thing.
Yeah, kind of, but man,
that's like when you don't want. It's sort of like a twins gimmick, or you're working the same, or be like the interns, two masked guys that are.
But it's been done. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I like it, Jamie.
Yeah, I think it would.
I like it.
I think we could have some long matches, and I think they would really be good.
I like it.
Now the thing about it is Adrian is up here, and I would be down in the first grade level as far as entertainment, because all I did was work the poof gimmick, which is what Adrian does out of necessity, because guys was beating the shit out of me. So I said, "Fuck this! I'll go right into character doing that." And then all of a sudden, the promoters all said, "Oh no, you do that from now on. That's more fun." The guys wrestling me hated it because I'd be sticking my finger up their fucking ass and take my fingers up their
You never know. Maybe some of them liked it. You just didn't know.
Well, a lot of them Japanese boys liked it. You know, they was
Kill City Cup. You got to follow the Kill City Cup storylines. We created green energy and dominated the planet. All right. What's that got to do with our technology? I don't get it still. Why'd you wear pink trunks, Rip?
Because you wear pink, because then they would call you.
Hey,
they would call you.
Back in the day, they would call you derogatory terms.
Yes, because I'm the bad guy.
Right.
So you do that, and then if you'd come out and have pink trunks on, all of a sudden, let's just say you were a sissy, put it that way, and it made your match that much easier. Then it was the other guy. You're the bad guy automatically, and the other guy's the good guy.
Did you ever get somebody to stick your thumb up your ass, Rip?
Oh, guys would always
during the match.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Well, as long as it's the right one knuckle only, and twist to the right.
Clayton says he can't get any shorter. Yeah, wear a belly shirt, man. Or just stretch it. It'll be fine. Get one and see. Just don't return it. Jim Weed, new listener, I think, here. Welcome to the channel, Jim. Any Rip Oliver stories?
Yeah, Rip was a good pro. We were together a few places. I think when I was in Tampa, he was there, but he was a local boy there, so they don't use the locals good there. Then he was a major star in Portland, and he was a star in Dallas. He was a good worker. And I didn't like that we had the same names. You don't want two Rips in a territory.
Yeah.
The promotion should have changed the name, or not have me in there, not him in there at the same time, because it was basically the same gimmick. Because he had the bleach blonde hair, he had the facial hair, he had nice robes. He was a bigger guy than me, but I was built a whole lot better.
Better wrap this thing up. We're about an hour and 20 in. Hey, next week, maybe you guys could help us out in the chat here. Next week, it's a possibility. Me and Rip still have to talk. Possibility we're doing Friday at 10 a.m. again, concrete time. Or we might do it Thursday night. Why don't you guys put a little vote in the chat? I can't make any promises, of course, right now. Can't make any promises, but Thursday night, Friday morning.
Hey, Opinion Havers on here. Did I make it? Is the show over? I mean, I know it's over, baby.
It is almost over, an hour and 20 in. I tried to plug your show. Couldn't remember when it was.
The Army.
Wednesday morning.
The Army.
Wednesday morning, the NXT review by opinion, Haber. Clayton votes Friday morning. Give us a vote in the chat. Friday morning, Thursday night. Let's see what else we got. Did you stuff your trunks, Rip?
I usually have the rolled up wash rag down there.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, and then in Adrian Street would always reach his hand down my pants and pull it out and show everybody.
Like when you wrestle on WCW TV, did you stuff
No.
your trunks?
Nah, I usually just had half a silly on going out there anyway. Half fluffed. Excellent width, not much, or excellent girth, not much length, but what the fuck, right?
George Jetson back in the house. How bad did it hurt to jump from the top rope to the floor? It'll lead to any long-term injuries. You did that double axe handle off the top quite a bit, I saw.
It was safe.
It didn't hurt the knees eventually?
No,
Man,
never.
It seems like it would. On the hard floor?
A lot of times it's just cement.
That's what
jumping.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I never got hurt doing that.
But long-term, you don't think that had anything to do with like knee problems?
Nah.
No?
Eventually, years later, I got smarter. I would do it on TV. Then I'd work the house show and the ref would count me down. So I never have to, they could see you do it on TV. So they knew you would jump, but then the ref would catch me and he'd get over for being the enforcer. Then I wouldn't have to jump. And I'm going, thank God.
Getting some Thursday night votes in here. Thursday night, Clayton, Friday morning. Of course, Medium 5 says late night and get members chat with you, such as me, Rip, and I did women giving the shocker, all that kind of stuff. Just sexcapades with Rip and Medium 5. That's all they need. Just sex talk.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah, we do need to do something with members. I told you I'm going to get a couple of videos out. We'll come up with something else for the membership, but definitely get some member videos out this weekend. So be looking for those. Turn those damn notifications on, then you'd know.
Hey, remember we was talking about Leo Burke earlier?
Yeah.
Leo was one of the greatest workers I was ever in the ring with, and all he did was basics. And I met him in Calgary, and I worked with him, and that's when Emile Dupre called me to come back in, and I worked 3 more summers for them because Leo liked to drink a lot, so he could have matches with me, and he could pretty much be drunk. But there was the 4 Cormier brothers. It was Leo, the Beast, Rudy K, and Bobby K. They were 4 brothers, but they were the Cormier brothers, but they all had like different names.
Wow.
They were the staples in the Maritimes for years.
Did the Tales from the Territories contact you for the Portland episode, Rip?
No, I don't know who they had on there, but
you weren't even contacted for Portland. Seems like you would be.
No, you would have Buddy Rose.
Okay,
it seems like they would, but Buddy was dead.
Yeah.
Ed Wiskowski.
Piper's
dead.
Right.
Ed Wiskowski's still alive, and I think he lives in Arizona. He would have had seniority over there big time.
Don't they usually have like 6 people though? It seems like you would be one of the top 6 still around, wouldn't you not?
No, the stuff they would be answered, I would know. I knew what the loop was, who the bosses were. Was there in the prime years with Rick Martel, Ron Starr, Aiden Adonis, Roddy Piper.
So it seems
Dutch
like
Savage. Yeah, but
it seems like you're arguing for you to be on. You were there with all the prime people.
I don't watch none of that stuff because they usually just focus on negative shit.
Jim Weed, is that out? I don't think those do. Tales from the Territories. The one I watched from Memphis wasn't negative at all. It was like Lawler and Hart and those guys just sitting around telling stories.
Well, they had a lot of that stuff.
No, I don't think any of it was hardly negative.
Okay.
It was like Lawler and Hart shooting the shit.
Okay. They had one thing.
That's all the Dark Side of the Ring you're talking
Oh, yeah,
about.
Dark Side of the Ring, yeah. So these are different. No, I don't watch TV, so what the
fuck? Jim Weed, is that out yet? Is it out? The Portland one? Is it out? Gonna be out? Do you know who's in it in the update? Kill City Cup, is Von Lilo's down to be the next Kill City Cup? If so, which character does he want to portray? I want to wrestle that Russian girl. I will come there only if I wrestle the Russian girl. What would my finishing move be? I want to lose. I can't do all that flip-de-doo shit either, so I have to do something like Gunther. I'm not going to be a Kill City Cup flip arounder. I'm 50 years old, dude. Bring on the Godfather that holds. Hey, listen, if anybody out there has any contact information, any kind of email, a lot of emails are out there. I got our email right now going across the ticker. If you've got guests, let's say you know the Godfather's email, send it to us. Send it to thelivestudios@gmail.com. I will contact them. Any guests that you think that you might have and have any kind of contact information on them, I do Google it every once in a while and find some people. Email it. Email us their information.
Jim Weed he was talking about Portland. He mentioned Lynn Denton and Bushwhacker Luke. So both of them, I talked to them at the Charlotte big get together we had there last month. And Lynn Denton, he was the boss at Portland. But I was with him in working for Ole too in Atlanta years ago. Then I used to make all the trips with the Bushwhackers. Well, they was Butch and Luke. They were the sheep herders in Portland.
All right. Now we're getting. It is out, he said. All right. Tales of Territory, I heard came from. Okay.
I heard.
Wow, it says Cash Wheeler, who's in FTR. We might have breaking news, Rip. You got a breaking news? What do we do for breaking news?
I don't know. We never had any breaking news.
This is all alleged. This is just on our show. Maybe we're breaking news right here on the Ask Rip Rogers live show. I don't know. It could be a lie. Maybe somebody else sue us. Cash Wheeler was apparently arrested about an hour ago for aggravated assault. He's one of FTR, one of the big tag teams on AEW, Rip.
Oh, okay.
Rip seems thrilled about that.
Yeah.
It's been out. Lynn Denton was one. Okay. Who else was on there? Anybody know? Also, is Von Elias willing to lose the Russian Crush? I'll lose to anybody. I don't give two shits about winning or losing. I just want to wrestle the girl, or at least be on there with the girl. Just don't let my wife see it. And
she
then
don't watch the show anyway.
I don't have to do a lot of flips, and I'll do whatever else, man. I'll lose to anybody. Don't care. Cash Wheeler caught with a gun charge. Breaking news right here on this show, man. All right. I don't know when we'll be on next week. Turn your damn notifications on, then you'll know. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Rip, you got any final thoughts?
No. How's that?
No final thoughts. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. Got all the top stars on here today. Become a member. Like, subscribe, watch your shit, share our shit, tell people about the channel.
I think this was the greatest show live we did today so far.
Appreciate everybody out there, man. Peace. Have a good weekend. It's when you're supposed to say, don't get no better than that, or something like that.
Oh, okay.
God damn.